On this day last year, we had no idea how the coronavirus was going to change all of our lives. Now, 1 year later, Rose McBride takes us back.
1 year after these first cases, there have been more than 400,000 confirmed cases of COVID in Kentucky and more than 650,000 in Indiana. We spoke with the first man in Louisville who tested positive. Donn Adams had just gotten back from a business conference in Florida when he started feeling sick. But assuming it was a cold, he and his wife headed to Mexico for a vacation. It was there he knew whatever he had was more than a cold.
I have never been that sick.
After a visit to the ER in Mexico, Adams and his wife headed home. He tested positive for COVID at Norton Brownsboro Hospital.
Had we had any inkling that he had COVID, we would not have gone.
That trip to Mexico was horrifying. That was just my good old red-blooded American stubbornness is why we got on the plane and went down there. And that was a horrible mistake.
Dr. Ashley Stivers was Adams' doctor at Norton last March. After a year, doctors are still facing a lot of unknowns.
A year and a half ago, there was no such thing as COVID in a textbook. You know, there was no, hey, when you have a patient with COVID, do A, B, and C. You know, none of that existed.
Even if COVID hasn't affected your health, the pandemic has likely affected who you see, where you go, and how you live your life.
I have 2 children and a grandchild that, we haven't been able to see.
Used to go to a lot of movies, haven't been to a movie theater.
It's a lot more staying inside, not going out and hanging with friends like I usually would.
I got another dog, so now I have 2 big dogs.
I'm certainly ready for things to get back to normal.
Things are starting to get back to some sort of normalcy. As of March 5th, 8.9% of Kentuckians have been fully vaccinated and 9.7% of Hoosiers. As for Donn Adams, he says that he still feels some of those effects of COVID, but both he and his wife are now fully vaccinated. For WHAS 11 News, I'm Rose McBride.